policies for rural areas are to undergo revision to give mayors and provincial governors more power. The older brother of former President Roh Moo-hyun has been arrested on corruption charges. And North Korea and the US held bilateral talks in Singapore ahead of the resumption of the six-way nuclear talks. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, the 5th of December. I'm Nemo Kim. President Lee Myung-bak says tax policies for rural areas will undergo revision to give mayors and provincial governors more power. The governors of 4 provinces are urging fast action.
President Lee has hosted a meeting of mayors and provincial governors on measures for developing rural areas. He says the government is reviewing plans to modify policies on rural tax revenue. He says final measures will be drawn up by next year's first half. President Lee says the measures will grant mayors and provincial governors more authority and decentralize power. On deregulation in metropolitan areas, he says rural regions will lose nothing in the process and promise to build rural infrastructure and create more jobs there. The governors of 4 provinces urged the president to launch a cleanup project for the Korean Peninsula's 4 biggest rivers. Gyeonggi Province Governor Kim Moon-soo asked for concentrated support for regions lagging behind in development. He urged the government to do this instead of dividing the country into metropolitan and non-metropolitan areas. The presidential office will review opinions gathered from the meeting before announcing measures for stimulating rural growth Monday.
The older brother of former President Roh Moo-hyun has been arrested on corruption charges. Roh Gun-pyong is alleged to have been at the center of a large-scale corruption in the sale of the now-defunct Sejong Securities.
Prosecutors have arrested the older brother of the former president, Roh Moo-hyun. Roh Gun-pyong denied the allegations against him in questioning until Thursday morning, but he partially admitted to several of the charges after his arrest.
혐의 인정하십니까?
아직 인정 다 못하겠습니다. 못하고 어떻든 부분적으로 인정한 부분이 있습니다만 아직 전부 인정하기는 그렇고요.
Investigators say Roh held several contacts with the former chairman of the state-run agricultural cooperative Nonghyup, Chung Dae-gun. They held meetings at a Seoul hotel to facilitate the sale of the securities company. When Nonghyup took over Sejong, Roh Gun-pyong is believed to have received $2 million that he shared with Chung and his brothers. Chung Hwa-sam was a high school classmate of the former president. Prosecutors in their arrest warrant application said Roh Gun-pyong must be arrested, citing the serious nature of his lobbying. They say he plotted with the Chung brothers early on and received a huge bribe. Roh Gun-pyong denied receiving the money and blamed everything on Chung brothers. But a Seoul court issued an arrest warrant against him. Senior Judge Kim Yong-sam at the Seoul Central District Court deliberated on the arrest warrant. Kim says he has reason to believe the suspect could either flee or attempt to destroy evidence. Prosecutors say the arrest is not the end and have many more allegations to confirm.
North Korea and the US have held bilateral talks in Singapore. The meeting is a precursor to the resumption of the six-way nuclear talks set for Monday in Beijing.
Chief U.S. nuclear negotiator Christopher Hill and North Korean counterpart Kim Gae-kwan have discussed in Singapore the verification protocol for the North's denuclearization. Hill told a news briefing after the meeting that the key agenda was verification matters.
With regard to verification, which is a key element of the meeting next week, we want to make sure that we have enough specificity in a verification agreement.
He also says economic support measures in accordance with Pyongyang's actions were also touched on.
We reviewed the major issues that we've all been working on, that is the disablement, the fuel oil, and of course the issue of verification of the declaration.
But Hill did not mention the collection of samples from the Yongbyon nuclear reactor. Pyongyang is also keeping silent on the Singapore meeting. Hill said after arriving in Singapore that a clear roadmap is needed for the verification process and that all misunderstandings should be resolved. North Korea agreed last year to close its main nuclear reactor in return for international assistance. But this process has been suspended since Pyongyang says it never agreed to have samples collected from its nuclear facilities.
The Korean American Federation of Los Angeles is the biggest ethnic Korean organization abroad, but is in dire financial straits. The federation has made the unprecedented decision to lay off its Secretary General and Executive Director. Here's more.
Korean American Federation of Los Angeles President Scarlett has decided to scrap 2 senior management posts. Was named the head of the organization in the second half of the year. She said the decision is intended to cut labor costs. The federation has told Secretary General Cho Dong-jin and Executive Director Roy Choi to resign by the end of the month. Accordingly, only 2 employees are left, but have work experience of just 4 months.
운영위원회가 있거든요. 회장님 참가하시고 뭐 수석부회장, 수석부이사장 참가하는 그런 회의가 있어요. 이사님도 참가하는 그런 데서 결정됐다고만 저희도 듣고 알고 있거든요.
Staff at the Federation will take turns working at the 2 positions starting next month. Doubts are appearing over the Federation's ability to continue its responsibility and volunteering role as a leading representative of the Korean American community. Operations will come to a halt at its secretariat, which handles civil complaints and manages ties with other official and non-official organizations. The economic downturn is also hurting the operation of the largest ethnic Korean organization abroad.
The Korean genome map or DNA sequence has been decoded for the first time. The breakthrough is expected to lead to customized medical treatments for Koreans.
Predicting disease ahead of time with just a drop of blood could soon be a reality in Korea. Dr. Kim Sung-jin has completed his own genome map comprising 3 billion pairs after 7 months of research. Kim, according to the map, is not at risk for asthma or alcoholism, but is genetically prone to diabetes and prostate cancer. The human genome map is made by extracting DNA from blood, dividing the DNA to find the DNA sequence, and arranging them in a line like assembling a jigsaw puzzle. With the first genome map of a Korean, doctors could soon predict diseases in people ahead of time and customize medical treatment.
유전자 변이를 알아내서 그 사람에게 적용될 수 있는 처방, 별도의 처방이 가능해져요.
In the U.S., a new company is planning to draw genome maps for about $4,700 per client from next year. Experts say everyone can get their own genome map in 5 years if the technology continues its rapid advance.
A large convention center is to be built near Seoul Station. Overpasses will be removed and new plazas will be built for a complete overhaul of the Seoul Station area. Let's take a look at the plan.
The old Seoul Station building was closed in 2004 with the launch of high-speed bullet train Korea Train Express. The site's been left unpreserved for a while, but will undergo a massive facelift. The Seoul City government, the Culture, Sports and Tourism Ministry and Korea Railroad have agreed to build an international convention center on this site by 2014. The center will be the biggest in Seoul above the Han River and will have 26,500 square meter exhibition hall and 7,500 seat conference center. 8 plazas with the themes of Korean history and culture will be built in front of the convention center. A luxury hotel and other tourist facilities are also planned. A 400-meter railroad section will turn into an environment-friendly park. Elevator roads will be demolished to improve the urban scenery.
낙후된 서울역 북부 역세권에 대규모 컨벤션 센터가 조성되면 서울의 국제 경쟁력이 높아지고 한 차원 높은 국제 도시로 다시 탄생하게 될 것입니다.
Seoul Station ushered in Korea's modern history a century ago. Now the area is set for rebirth as a business and cultural center where the past, present, and future coexist.
Tough economic times usually mean a decline in charitable activities. But charity organizations say donations for the needy have increased year on year. Let's find out more.
A child in his mother's arms donates money and gets a pendant called Fruit of Love in Korea. It's not a large sum, but donors seem happy to share what little they have to give.
어려울 때일수록 조금이라도 보탬이 됐으면 좋겠습니다. 기분 좋습니다. 크지 않은 돈이지만 기쁘고요. 또 뿌듯하기도 하고.
Nearly $10 million has been collected since a donation drive began Monday. The figure is $2.5 million higher than last year. Despite the worsening economy, more people are giving money to help those in need.
경제 사정은 어려워서 모금하기 쉽지 않을 거라 생각했는데 예년보다 많은 분들이 참여해 주셔서 소폭 좀 모금액이 상승했습니다.
The Community Chest of Korea is aiming to collect $141 million this winter and says it can reach this target if donations maintain their pace. The Salvation Army says its amount of donations is similar to last year's. Donations will be taken until next month through street collections, the Community Chest website, and Automated Response System, or ARS.
Some artists have been criticized for being too commercial, but this group of young artists is taking a stand against commercialization through their works. A recent exhibition has shown that the artistic spirit and the role of artists in the world remain strong.
This work features a rocket launched from a barren desert in Central Asia. The Silk Road was an extensive trade route covering Asia and Europe. The road is now an intimidating place in this piece, which symbolizes the history of confrontation. These fireworks brings to mind the Iraqi war. The work shows how vulnerable people are to war and terrorism. This image of terminally ill couple asks the profound question on the true meaning of death.
내 눈에 보이는 마지막 그 이미지라는 것이 형광등이라면 너무나 허무한 것이잖아요. 어떻게 내가 이 삶을 살아야 될 것인가.
A boat carrying people without hope heads toward a land of ideals. This work satirically portrays people who wander aimlessly in chaos emerging from class stratification. A Korean scholar in traditional attire is on his way to studying in America. This pokes fun of the Korean obsession with a prestigious educational background. This quirky combination of comic book heroes parodizes the false image of pop culture.
요구하지 않는 비판적인 정신들, 그런 패러디들 이런 것들을 젊은 작가들이 이제 거침없이 발언을 하고 있는 거죠.
These 17 young artists have decried the absurdity of reality through parody of the growingly commercialized world of art.
On cold winter days, it's hard to resist a hot dish of tteokbokki, slim sticks of rice cake served with spicy pepper sauce. Well, today we're going to introduce to you some new tteokbokki dishes.
Kids are crazy about the sweet and spicy rice cake snack sold at this tteokbokki shop. The snack served in cups is a big hit among young customers. The spicy and chewy snack makes adults as happy as kids.
옛날에 학교 끝나고 나면 이 간식으로 애들하고 모여서 막 먹던 생각이 나거든요. 그때 맛도 나고 중독성이 있어서 자꾸 끌려요.
The shop specializing in tteokbokki has various dishes on offer. There's garlic soy sauce tteokbokki with crisp fried rice cake seasoned with soy sauce. The sour kangjang tteokbokki is another treat to enjoy. And how about tteokbokki coated with honey and chopped peanuts? Tteokbokki is quite easy to make yourself at home. These days, rice cakes come in various shapes. There are cute pepper and mushroom-shaped rice cakes as well. Number rice cakes are particularly popular among kids. Kids can have fun playing with the numbers before cooking. They say number rice cakes are much more fun to play with than number magnets. And here's a unique tteokbokki recipe you can try at home. Try soft cream sauce instead of the hot and spicy pepper sauce for a change. Stir-fry garlic, onions, mushrooms and bacon in a frying pan. Add some milk and let it boil for a while. Then sprinkle in some pepper, Parmesan cheese and fresh cream and cook some more. Put in some cheese, broccoli and rice cakes and finally stir in an egg yolk. Next up is pizza tteokbokki. Stir-fry rice cakes with meat and vegetables in tomato sauce. Pour them onto a plate and top with mozzarella cheese, paprika, mushrooms and ham slices. Then cover it up with dough.
아이들이 재미있으라고 도우를 뚜껑을 덮었어요. 그래서 익었을 때 바삭함을 느끼면서 맛있게 먹을 수 있는 그런 떡볶이예요.
Tteokbokki with hot cheese and crispy bread is a hearty and healthy snack for everyone to enjoy. So, how about cooking tteokbokki at home tonight to eat with your loved ones?
Let's now check out today's economic indicators, and that's followed by world weather. And that does it for today's edition of News Today. Join me again on Monday. Have a gorgeous weekend.